Ali Army, welcome back to my channel, and OMG, it's me, Alina. So as most of you know, my dream careers are acting and content creating, and if you happen to be a casting director watching this video, hi.
What the hell?
And if you're interested, you can go check out my social medias here or in the description of my channel. And if you don't know, now you know. And yes, that was a Hamilton reference. But today, I have decided to become a therapist.
Wait, Alina, aren't you single?
Yes.
And aren't you only 15?
Yeah.
You haven't had a crush since 4th grade.
Oh, that's not...
Oh, no?
Yeah.
Because I thought that...
No.
No? Really?
Me personally, I don't use Reddit, and I don't think I would really ever like vent or ask for advice through social media. I mean, I might have done that like once, but why are you in my business? Mind your own. Slay! That kind of contradicts what I'm doing today, but if you weren't aware, I will be I will be giving very, very great relationship advice to the people who do vent on Reddit about their relationships. One of the most private things ever, but you know, everybody rows their boat different. I can't believe I just said that. What? One of my very first videos on this channel was actually me reacting to Reddit Am I the A-word videos, but please don't go watch that. Like, looking back, and it wasn't even that long ago, but looking back, Of course, we have to start with the longest title. I hope I can read this. If you know, you know. Sister-in-law, 34 female, became pregnant weeks after my wife, 36 female, had a successful embryo and had a successful embryo implantation, and now my wife is furious at my 37 male entire side of the family. As the title says, we as of now have a successful embryo presentation.
Oh my god. Embarrassing.
I don't even know what that means. This might not be appropriate. Y'all don't be like me. Or do, you know, that's like one of my goals, for people to be inspired off of me. Little me? Stop!
Clap if you care. All right, let's move on. Perfect.
Yeah, as the title says, we as of now have a successful embryo implantation done at the end of February, and my brother let me know about a very early positive pregnancy test this last week after they began trying for their wedding this summer. Ever since I told my wife, she has been furious with me, my sister-in-law, and my mother. She refuses to have a sustained conversation about it, but from what she has told me, she is upset that they knew everything we had to go through to get pregnant and then go get pregnant weeks after we did, and which was supposed to be her moment. Separately, she is mad at me because I do not seem excited for the baby and that I want the baby to miscarry. After I made a comment that I was nervous to be excited until after the first trimester, when she asked how I felt about becoming the father. She is also mad at my mother after she told some family members after the implantation before we told her not to say anything. All in all, I'm not sure what to do about this. She has basically gone no contact with my side of the family over it and is refusing to speak to me. I want to be there and support my wife, but I also feel that my brother and his wife, as newlyweds in their mid-30s, have the right to become pregnant whenever they want and wish nothing but the best for the journey. I want to be on my wife's side, but to do so, it seems I would have to cut off my family, which I do not think is fair to them or me. Personally, see, the wife is in the wrong, not in the wrong. I understand where she's coming from, but she's doing too much. Maybe that's just me. If you have any opinions about any of these stories, by the way, you can leave them down in the comments. Anyway, so I feel like she's doing a lot. Like, how are you gonna tell me when I can have a child? What? That's kind of crazy. I fear it's my life. Like I said, my business, mind your own. Again though, I do understand where she's coming from. I understand why she feels the way she feels. If I was like a tad bit more dramatic, I'd probably feel that way too. Honestly, I don't know what to say about this, but I think she needs to chill. Wife, female 27, cheated on me, male 30, early in the relationship. Now she's flaunting it. Wife cheated on me at the beginning of our relationship 5 years ago. Oh, okay. I forgave her, but asked if she could remove him from her social media group out of respect. She fought it, but eventually agreed. Back in last December, she added him again, only said, "I'm sorry this makes you feel bad." Then she went back to her hometown for a couple of days and went AWOL. Spent some nights out of my in-laws' house and gave me some elaborated excuses. I didn't buy it, so I confronted her. She ended the relationship over text. My condolences. Is that how you use that? I don't think that's... Actually, I'm not sorry. You deserve better. Period. She came back home after a couple of days and said she was going to move out. Took her 2 months to actually do it. I ended up helping her move out, and then I moved out myself since I didn't want to be in our old apartment alone. We haven't filed for divorce yet, but have been living separately for 3 weeks. Today she posted on social media a picture showing she's traveling abroad with this guy she cheated on me with, clearly wanting me to see it. I feel like it's total disrespect. Needless to say, I gave her the stars and the moon over 5 years of marriage, so I can't understand this move of hers. My reaction here is no reaction at all. You think that is okay? I think that's wonderful. Because first of all, how are you going to get in a relationship and then immediately cheat? Why would you get in the relationship at all? And that's the thing I don't understand about cheating. Again, like, I know I'm young, but I'm also young and in high school, so if you know, you know. I think, like, that's why people should start off as friends or acquaintances. Like, you should literally get to know the person first, and it should be for like a year, maybe 2, maybe a year and a half, because if you don't want to spend the rest of your life with someone, and I know a lot of people don't date to marry, I would. A lot of people don't do that though, but still, again, I just think she shouldn't have even gotten in the relationship in the first place, and you have every right to feel literally nothing at all and to move on. Now, for my homegirl, I just have one question. Why? Why? What was going on through your head? Like, why? My boyfriend cried when I told him I'm going out in the week. That time it was with me. That time seriously, I didn't say it wrong. We were talking about plans for this weekend. I said I'm going to a party with my friend. I'm an introvert, me too, so haven't really gone out without him in the 6 months we've been together. He's got his kids on the weekends, so can't join. We were cuddling in bed, then he just lied on his back and went silent. I asked him what's wrong. He said he's not gonna be able to sleep. He had tears in his eyes, said he's having really bad PTSD and is worried about me going out because I'm going to the same bar he caught his ex-wife cheating at.
Bombastic side eye.
I just said, so I'm not your ex. Then the rest of the night, he kept asking me all this stuff. But what are you gonna do if a guy hits on you? What if you find someone else? I assured him I won't entertain nobody and told him he needs to seek therapy if his PTSD is this bad from his ex cheating. He said he's had therapy and there's nothing it did to help. What can I do to help him? He said if we live together, he'll worry less about me being disloyal because it'll show I'm committed, but I just feel like it's too soon. He does things like this all the time and it's getting frustrating for me, but not enough to end it. I really don't want to. I just want him to get help. That was such a struggle. Okay, since it seems like he has PTSD and has had help, so he's got like mental issues, I guess. Like, I was gonna say he literally has no reason to cry, but because of that stuff, I understand it. I think he needs to get therapy again, or just something that can help, because you shouldn't have to go with me everywhere I go. Like me personally, I'm also an introvert, and when I go out, I do not like being alone. But there's also boundaries and personal space, and if you can't give me that and you'll only let that happen if we live together, like, no thank you. Now, I don't necessarily think that's something to like break up over unless it gets super bad. Now, the part where she said she's not his ex,
yes, I did that. And you would do it too for a check.
I would, it depends how she said that. Maybe she should have worded that differently. But I see what she's trying to say, and like, I agree. Like, she's a different person. Don't get into a relationship with someone you don't trust. And if you're in a relationship with her, you should trust her. And I personally think that she was not going to do anything wrong. At the same time, though, PTSD, like, that's not an excuse, and it's kind of giving manipulation. And she is not responsible for regulating his emotions. And then especially with the way he was acting, honestly, I don't think they should move in together either. And I think this is her boyfriend, right? Not her husband. So I especially don't think they should move in together. Honestly, she asked what she could do to help him, but clearly he's tried to get help. It depends how long he was in therapy for. Like, maybe he needs to go back. Like, I say you need to give it a lot of time before you declare that it's not working for you. I get mental issues are hard, but when someone else is trying to put your feelings above theirs, you should be doing that too, and being very mindful, very considerate. That's very demure. Speaking of demure, do you like my bow? It's so cutesy, isn't it? It's actually a JoJo bow, but I tore off the logo because my 29 female partner 34 male ruined my grandfather's funeral for me. Hey everyone, my partner and I have been together for 10 years. We have a 3 and a 5-year-old. In that 10 years, we have only spent one night apart from each other. My family lives interstate. We have never visited, mostly because he can't go a few days without me.
What the fuck?
That's fantastic. That's okay. My grandfather passed away, and we couldn't afford to all go, so I went for 4 days. My flight home was booked for 9 a.m. I booked in a panic and didn't realize it would take 2+ hours to get from my parents to the airport, which would mean I either catch a $250 Uber or wake someone up at 5 a.m. to take me. My sisters pointed out My sisters pointed this out and asked if I could change my flight to the same as theirs at 3 p.m. so the 7 of us could fly home together. They hired a 7-seater car. I mentioned this to my partner on the way to the airport, and he absolutely cracked it because in his eyes, they should have booked the same flight as me. I changed my flights the day before I flew home, the night of my grandfather's funeral, and when I told him, he cracked it so badly, I got paragraphs of messages about how much of a disappointment I am and how I'm choosing them over him, that they should have been more considerate and caught the early flight even though that means leaving mom's at 5 a.m. My 3-year-old niece and 6 other family members. He tried to call me 40 times, and when I answered, he was yelling at me saying horrible stuff. My sister had to message him to tell him to stop. His argument was the kids were evicted to come pick me up. I stayed calm and said I can catch a lift home with my sister, or they could still come pick me up. It just meant leaving at 2 p.m. instead of 10 a.m. He would not see my point of view. Kept saying how inconsiderate my family is and how the kids don't even want me to come home and that he may not be here when I get home, etc. I could go on. I could have written a book with the amount of paragraphs I got sent. I spent last night and day crying, feeling so depressed instead of enjoying the time with my family. I stopped replying for the day, and on the way to the airport, he messaged me saying, "Have a safe flight, love you. The kids and I will be there to pick you up." I got in the car and nothing was said. He was a calm person. He took us to get dinner, then drove home. This was 2 days ago and still nothing has been said. I don't understand. Why did he make me feel so horrible if when I got home nothing mattered? I am left feeling so emotionally drained and robbed of the family time. He added so much more stress to my trip. I also woke up to a phone call from him at 7 a.m. the day of the funeral, to him yelling at me because he couldn't find our son's school jumper. I feel so emotionally drained. I don't know what to do. I just don't understand how he made such a fuss. Made me feel so horrible. Then when I get home, he acts like nothing happened. I'm not sure whether he just wanted to ruin my time or make me feel guilty for leaving him for 4 days. This is emotional abuse. You need to pick up your kids, pick some divorce papers, and run. Run. First of all, I don't care if you're my husband. I don't care who you are. I will always choose my family over my significant other because they are my blood. They raised me, and there's no reason you should ever think you're gonna come before them. I would even put the kids before my significant other. Like, that's just me though. Not only did your grandfather just pass away, but you mentioned that you have not seen your family that often because of how far they live. Come on now. Obviously, why wouldn't I want to spend as much time together as I could, even if that means booking another flight to go with them? And honestly, he just seems like an irresponsible person because you should have had your kids' stuff planned out for school and stuff. If you can't handle yourself for 4 days, you can't handle me. You can't handle 2 other kids. Why are you calling me and yelling at me because you can't find our kid's jumper? Like, first of all, calling her, what is she gonna do about it? Fly back? Never mind. He kept saying how inconsiderate she was. No, it's actually the other way around, and that the kids didn't want her home. Okay, I wouldn't want to come home either, and I strongly don't believe. Why would my kids not miss me? Like, I don't think that's true. I think he was speaking for himself. And then I also don't understand why he said all that stuff just to not even talk about it when she came back. Like, literally boss up and say that to my face. Because if there's a problem, you need to address that with me. Either way, I would have left him. In these stories, I'm noticing a pattern of lack of communication. This is what I'm talking about. Like, how are you going to be in a relationship? The main thing you will need is communication. This is actually so horrible, and I actually feel so bad. And she mentioned they've been together for 10 years, so I can only imagine the other types of things he's done. And he was quiet because he didn't see a fault in his actions or in his words, which means that's probably his mindset most of the time. Now that I think about it, like, what did he do to those kids while she was gone? Like, those poor babies. So guys, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I really did. Moral of the story, please don't turn out like these people. Please know your boundaries. Please set up standards for yourself. And don't rush into relationships or anything like that. Do not aspire to be like these wonderful people. Of course, though, you never know what you're getting into. So if anything like this or something ever happens to you in a relationship, literally leave immediately, because there's no reason you should ever put up with this for 6 years, 11 years, 11. Like, at this point, there's more than one problem, and one of them is you. If you have any video suggestions for me, though, leave them down in the comments, or if you have any opinions about what we read today, again, discuss it in the comments, debate if you will. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. You're still here. That's really wonderful. Edit me really quick, okay? Hold up, I'm gonna make sure you follow me on social media, okay? Bye.